Hello and welcome to Hooded Kobold. In this series, Should You Run It, we'll dig into the 5th edition D&D books. The purpose here is to give a brief overview for each book, and then my recommendation on whether you, the DM, should run it or not. Frozen Sick is a mini-adventure in the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. It's for 4 to 6 players, and it starts them off at level 1 and ends around level 3. Like I said, it's a mini-adventure, so the adventure is relatively short. But it does give a nice taste of the frozen north in the Wildmount setting created by Matt Mercer and the location for the Critical Role Season 2. Our heroes start out in Pelbing Village. They are paying respects for a recently deceased dwarf. The book kind of has them start off where their background ties into this dwarf, so they all have a reason to be there. When the crowd starts to scatter at the end of the service, Elro, the town leader, approaches the group. He lets them know that Urgon's death was not natural or expected, and pleads for their help. With that, the characters are off on an adventure. So here's my spoiler warning, so if you plan on being a player, please stop here. The story takes place over 2 acts. The first act is focused on having the adventurers find out the cause of death, which turns out to be a thing called frigid woe. The second half is focused on obtaining the antidote. The first act has us starting off with the players just being given the quest and left in the village to their own accord. There are 2 obvious hooks from here. First, you can just go straight to Urgon's cabin and just start exploring that. Or there was another person, or dwarf, named Tulgi that had recently talked to Urgon. She supposedly is the last person to see him before he was found dead. So after exploring the town and all that it has, the party is led to the Cave of Croaks, or Croaker's Cave. This is a dark and large cave that contains Tulgi's sister, and she, if questioned, has all the information they need, unless the party kills her. And I kid you not, this is what the game says. It says to literally place a note on the ground, because Wizards of the Coast, they know there's murder hobos. So she, living, or the note, if she's dead, tells them that the bottles came to the village by Urgon. He brought them from an expedition. So, ta-da! Mission accomplished. We're all good, pat ourselves on the back, we can all go home now. When the players get back to the village, they go to the Jolly Dwarf. It's the only inn in the town, and are met with sour news. One of the townsfolk, Irvin, had bought a bottle from Tulgi and had given it to his husband and also his 2 adopted children. So, yeah, Father of the Year. Finally, we get to the second act. So, Elro, being all Gandalf-like, has decided, you know what, I actually remember this, and it came from these ancient ones, and the antidote's probably with them, so why don't we just retrace Urgon's footsteps? So he sends them off on a boat up to the north. There's a patch of islands called Esselcrest, and that's where the heroes are sent. Once they're there, they do meet a bunch of new NPCs that are very flavorful. One is Morgo. She's a werebearer dwarf. And another is the Buyer. It's a mystical old elf. And I guess he's just fed up with telling people what he does for a living. So after that, they're set up with camp and they're kind of given a guide and shown where to go. So then they explore and explore more and continue exploring until finally, bam, they find Sal's vault. So this is a icy small dungeon that has a colorful and kooky captain. And then either using combat or RP, they overcome him and are able to get the antidotes. So they quickly gather those up and run those out. And they head to the Buyer, and he can use a magical chest to teleport them from his location straight to Pelbing Village. And with that, the heroes have saved the day and everyone. Unless they took too long, because the book says that. And then all the people infected died, so. But the heroes are alive. Yay! This is a nice little detective adventure. It has a lot of fun, and it really breaks some of the molds. Like, you don't actually confront a physical, tangible enemy, so you can't just, like, stick them with the pointy end or chuck a fireball. But there's also kind of a wonder about this, though, where you can't just solve a problem by smashing in the face with a mace. If you're looking for something new, something in Frozen North, something low level, or anything in the Wildmount book, this is definitely an adventure to look into. Until next time, fellow kobolds, like and subscribe. Bye-bye.